So let me see, make sure it ain't messing up. I got it on the Wi-Fi. With Desoto City Hall. Let me see what's going on first before I get doing too much, because I might have to pre-record it. That's probably what's going to end up having to have to get it pre-recorded. We finna find out in just a minute. I gotta see if it's gonna mess up, guys. Let's see. Then I can explain everything. Just a second. Let me make sure. Okay, it say it on live. Let me see if it's gonna mess up. Let's see, I'm gonna find out just a second. Okay, I think it's working now. Let me see. Let's see. It ain't messed up yet. Let me see if we get the 2 minutes. And we rolling, guys. Sorry about that. Make sure y'all sure, because this is something good. I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on just a second. Okay. So we're at the Desoto City Hall, man. And it's still running, so I didn't put the, what's the name up? So make sure y'all sure. So come on. I redid the live and put the Wi-Fi up this time. So
okay.
Now let them know who you are and what's going on. Well,
yeah.
They see that Havoc, so
well, of course they see Havoc, you know. My name's Christopher Curry, man. I'm here. I hosted large events throughout DeSoto, not just DeSoto, but DFW and throughout the United States. And we're here just to discuss some of the things that have been going on within the city with the police. They are pretty much what we call price gouging and disguising revenue as protection. It's one thing to have a necessity for police, but it's one thing for overkill and to basically let's see what we can get out of it type situation for the police. One thing we do appreciate the police. We appreciate their presence. We appreciate them always being at the events. However, some things are not necessary. You can't have us paying $7,000 for 4 officers when I paid for less than 20 hours of work, and then tell me I have to hire private security to run the event, because you can't pat down, you can't wand, you can't do any type of bag check, you can't do anything. So what are we paying you all this money for?
Right.
Basically, it's revenue disguised as protection. That's exactly what it is. And so we're going to address some things. Some things are going to be brought to light today that hopefully they have some answers for, and hopefully that you can see what's going on within the city behind these doors. The reason why we have you here today is because a lot of things are said behind closed doors, and so we're not hiding anything anymore. We're bringing it to the forefront. We want everything to be seen. We want things to be heard by the public so they know what exactly is being said. And then everybody can make their own fair assessment, their own fair judgment, and have an understanding of what's going on. Again, we're not saying we need police, because we understand the culture and the climate that we're dealing with, but we don't need the overkill of police.
Right.
So that's why we're here today.
Okay. Anybody else want to say something?
This is a very important point.
Come on.
The concerns are brought up basically because of certain situations that have been brought about throughout the city,
right.
With us having these events. Basically, you know, we're continually having to pay for police that sit across the street for 8 hours in a vehicle that do nothing. They call it protection. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there have been several incidents over at the field, and so they're paying for the officers and they're paying for, for private security. There have been a time where there have been like incidents they've had to go and beat on the door of the police squad car because he's asleep. When he expressed the concerns to the police department, because they came out there, the head of crime prevention for DeSoto, Texas. DeSoto is 70% black. She called him a fat black bitch. In the presence of children, in the presence of parents. He immediately called Chris Glover, which is the head of, Rex and Recreation. He called the chief of police. The chief of police thought it was so egregious that he called him for the first time after all the stuff that's been going on. He called him. He said, I want to lodge a formal complaint. And he said, no, we're gonna handle this internally. And that woman, Jessica Ryan, who said fat black bitch at a city of 70% black people is still in her position today. She just walked through here. There have been zero consequences. So I'm concerned about the fairness of this. So I appreciate you just coming and broadcasting it, because what's happening right now, it's not being resolved with them and with us because they don't respect us. But hopefully they will respect the citizens, and hopefully they'll respect the public once they find out about all of this misconduct.
Absolutely, and so you can hear the frustration in the voice, because again, I bring a lot of money. I've been here through DeSoto 35 plus years. My events for the last 5 years have garnished DeSoto $10.6 million in economic impact. That's not numbers I made about the Blue. Those are numbers that they were given to me by the city of DeSoto. Those are their numbers that they placed to me. Just my events alone. I'm here with guys that host events throughout the city of DeSoto all year long. We bring in millions of dollars to this economy. And then for someone to have the audacity to stand in front of us and make that kind of statement, that you know there's not a level of respect for us.
So let me ask you this, 'cause what made her say that again? What?
She didn't like
in front of the kids.
She did not like being challenged on a security measure that was already established in place in a pre-Zoom meeting. And so when I challenged her that we can't do that, she got upset.
And she did it at the field?
At the field, in front of my kids, my patrons, my board, all of those involved. You ready?
Yes.
All right.
I did not know you had until you were bringing several people.
Absolutely. I'm gonna bring the people that are involved.
I understand. I'm gonna have to move the meeting to another
Oh,
space.
good.
Thank
Thank you. That'd be great. Well, they said we have too much of a large crowd, so we're gonna have to move it to a bigger space.
you. You know, we're bringing an audience.
Yeah, they didn't know that we were bringing an audience. And again, this is why, because a lot of things are done behind closed doors and that they don't want it to be said. But I'm bringing everybody's attention to the fact of what's going on in the city. And again, if it means me losing relationships that I've been in this city for 35 plus years, that's what I'm willing to do. Willing to do
They
that.
also brought their own audience. When it
They
was
brought
just
their own
supposed to be a
audience, correct.
Small meeting, but you see, had you not been here to capture that, that's what would happen. He would have been outnumbered again, and all these things just lobbed against him.
So we sure finna get to the nitty gritty. That's what we finna do. So y'all make sure y'all share so you can see how it go on for us.
Absolutely. And this, again, this is all about fairness. Again, we appreciate the police and what they do and what they bring, but it's about fairness. You can't tell me that my people, my general public, requires police officers, and you say it's safety in numbers, but then when you look across the street at the soccer park, look across the street at the baseball facility, there's no police. They don't require police, then you tell me we don't have to do that. That's the difference. So, I'm not reading about it. That's why we're here today. That's why we're here today.
We ready? What's going on, man?
Make sure that camera is on her. That's the one who called him that.
How you
How you
doing?
doing, Chief?
Good, man. How you been?
Doing all right.
Yes, sir.
So this is a part of the police leadership, the police council right here. The chief of police.
Yeah, that's Chief of Police that came in.
These are all leaderships in police department.
Okay.
Again, you see how they came out. 70% black. This is the police right here. Head of crime prevention.
We're anticipating April 11th, but we got a lot of stuff to try to get ready before April 11th sometime. So, we'll see. It's gonna be here.
Make sure y'all share, man, so you can see. Y'all need to learn, and so you can understand how stuff happens on the back end. See, you always see the upfront end, but now this is the back end. So if you ever want to get involved in something like this, guys, this is the type of stuff you're gonna have to deal with. You get what I'm saying? And I understand what I ain't gonna say argument is. I understand what the situation is. They feel like they're being, like you say, price gouging, and everybody is not. So it's kind of like you're targeting a certain, and I'm gonna say this, it's like they getting targeted by a certain flavor. Y'all know what I mean? When I don't use race, I use flavor. And that's what the problem is. One price is this amount, but then the other side price way cheaper when it comes to having these events at these fields. That's basically what they challenging right now. Trying to see, because did y'all already have something in place? Did y'all already have something in place for it not to be gouging?
Yeah, there
Okay,
are a couple
that's-
of things that are in place, and so it's just kind of increasingly gone up. Even at the top of this week before this meeting, they were lobbying, saying that he owes a certain money. We logged into the payment system to see, and the balance was zero. And then miraculously, this lady over here, we paid ourselves. Well, if you're paying yourselves, isn't that from the city fund that has been set aside for this thing? So how are you paying yourself for that, but you're not paying yourself for everything else? There's a lot of confusion on like where the money is going.
Okay.
So,
Is that what y'all gonna ask today?
yeah, he's got a couple
Or y'all
questions.
gonna get in there? Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna ask that. But my main concern too, because these are all business persons and they brought millions of dollars to the city. My main concern is that's the lack of respect and not seeing citizens as equal, because this could have been resolved a long time ago. This is a silly meeting. This is a silly meeting. But it just shows the lack of respect that they have for citizens, because anyone who can say something so disgusting to anyone like that, to a citizen, they would never say that to the mayor, they would never say that to the city manager, but they'll say that to citizens. And there's no repercussions for it, there's no consequences. That has to change.
John, he posted the other day. I don't know if y'all saw him. Yeah, I got the
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We in Desoto finna have a meeting, guys. So with the city hall, and they ready to see what's going on. And you know it's cold. They got the chief there. When he said he have a meeting, he meant that. He got the chief in here. So we want to make sure all that right. You know it's serious when the chief got come. You know what I'm saying? Remember that.
You know there's misconduct when he's here. There's misconduct, and it's not being checked. That's why he's here.
This is the first meeting. This is not the second meeting. We've had numerous meetings where things have been said and it's not being upheld.
Okay.
So this is why you're here, for transparency, for everyone involved.
Right.
Chris, I need to send you that.
So basically, guys, y'all know I'm the
Place where I
what y'all seeing now is the person in the blinds that opening the blind trying to see what's going on outside. I'm that eyes for y'all. Okay? The back end. This is what goes on in the back end. If you're dealing with trying to get an event in a city or in a county, well, not a city, because it ain't county, it's down the county. So in the city, you have to go through the back end of it. It's like you just can't go in there, hey, I want this field. Nah, man, it's a lot of other stuff you have to do before you think about all that.
Their children started off in a totally separate place.
Definitely young. Used to work.
Y'all make sure y'all share so y'all can understand what's going on. I know people like, oh, we ain't ready. See, we try to bring stuff so you can get some understanding of what's going on. That's basically what
So, but other than that,
I'm here for y'all for. They want the community to see because they, like he said, I already had a couple of meetings before, but they haven't gotten what's the word? Like they went back on their word, kind of. So now I'm here to catch it, basically.
You know what's interesting? Is if you just follow the word starts changing
Yeah.
from there. To there.
But not the table.
My exact thought.
70%,
My exact thought.
and that's egregious. No consequences. This is the pattern. This is the pattern in 2018. What happened? Edgar Benise Johnson said that the treatment against the citizens here, when that incident happened, I think when they slammed them onto the ground, she said it was so brutal that we need a citizen review board. It never happened. Austin refuses to comment on a lot of these issues. 2024, same issue, another issue. 2020, another issue. So this is a pattern of misconduct, and nothing's being done. And it's very odd that with the city that 70% of the people look like me.
So we can prepare on what's
And she gave me my scholarship.
so y'all tune in.
This the former mayor, I remember she gave me a scholarship when I was in high school. Oh, okay. So they're waiting right now on the city manager to come.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Oh, we have a community meeting, all right. So how's everyone doing?
Everyone's here, thank you.
Excellent. I see additional leaders here. Can you introduce them?
Absolutely. Of course, my name is Christopher Curry, president of Havoc and also the B1 Nation. This is a great introduce yourself.
My name is Gregory Johnson. I'm also over AJ Sports and running things at UHL and the Desoto Recreation Center also.
And I'm Raymond Alford, co-owner of Big U Sports League. We also run the events out of UHL as well.
Okay.
And this is my board members that we came on.
Pleasure. Do you mind turning the camera off, please?
Well, no, we brought the camera for transparency purposes. That was the reasoning for having the
I'm
camera.
gonna ask, this is a meeting that was supposed to be with you.
So it is with me.
Yes.
Correct.
And so, I would prefer that you turn the camera off, please.
So can you establish why the camera needs to be turned off and we're asking for transparency in this meeting? Because of the things that are being said in the meetings are not being held accountable outside of the meetings. So this is why we have a camera here to make sure that the things that are being said throughout the meeting is transparency, not only for you, but for myself as well.
And if
So-
it's a preference, then it's just a preference.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do, actually. I've talked to the mayor, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a meeting with all of the vendors, with all of the promoters, and we're gonna sit down and look at that entire policy. And including the security piece, so everyone is treated equitably, and that we move forward with some consistency, so I'm gonna work.
So are you admitting that the policies that were established in the beginning have not been fair and they've not been equal for everybody involved? Because if you're going to address it now, that's probably what you're saying.
No, I'm not gonna address it right now, so we're gonna set up a meeting.
That's not what I asked.
To make sure.
That's not what I asked though. I asked that you're saying that the policy that has been in place or the procedures that you've been following for the last 5, 6 years have not been fair across the board. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. So if you're saying that, that's
The
your
statement that
prerogative.
you just
What I'm
made,
saying
that's-
is I'm gonna bring the promoters of the BMX, I'm gonna bring the promoters of the soccer fields, I'm gonna bring in the promoters of the football fields, I'm gonna bring the promoters of everyone. And we're gonna sit down, moving forward for consistency purposes, because Chris, you said we have not been consistent. We didn't say we haven't been consistent. You're the one who said that. So I wanna make sure that we have all the promoters with us, and when we leave this, that we leave this, with everyone's understanding and everyone agreement.
So what
So
was the
that's how
purpose
we're
of
gonna
this
move
meeting?
forward.
What was this purpose of this meeting then?
The purpose of this meeting was, actually, you've asked for that meeting and we
That's not,
we
no,
set it up.
no,
We
that's
set
not, I
it
did
up
not.
for you.
I made allegations and I made statements and you all scheduled the meeting. That's why this meeting was scheduled.
Okay, so
So I didn't ask for
share
it.
with us your allegations.
So my allegations or my questions or concerns is,
Correct, because it's a preference. It's a preference. It's not a policy. Go ahead and address your concerns.
my concerns are.
It's a, ma'am, if it's a preference, we can go ahead and do
I'm just
that.
gonna listen to
If it's a preference, okay,
Again,
Well, it's not my preference.
correct, but it's
And
our
I
preference.
have the meeting.
Correct, but it's our preference too, and based off of
So-
what you just
so
said,
here's
if
what
he
we're
called the
gonna-
meeting.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna terminate this meeting.
Great figure there.
We're gonna set up
To
a
the point
meeting.
there.
We're gonna set up a meeting for all promoters moving forward. And we're gonna sit down with all promoters and you share everything that you need to share. The football promoters, the soccer promoters, the BMX promoters, everyone. And then based on that, we'll come up with if we need to amend the policy, if we need to change things in the policy, if we need to keep the policy as is and add to it, we'll be more than happy to do that.
But hey, you
So-
still
so-
answer your question.
Appreciate it, and that meeting is concluded.
we're just gonna go ahead and.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go, if he wants to go ahead and do that. But there are a couple things that I'd like to say, like, as we're still here, particularly while the chief of police is here and while Jessica Ryan is here. Jessica Ryan is the person who actually holds the keys to the whole scheduling fiasco. And one of the things that we're really concerned about is fairness and actually being seen as an equal across the table. She called this member, who's brought millions of dollars to the city, a fat black bitch. And nothing was done about it. And that's because they don't see us as equals. So it's not a surprise that the city manager wants us to meet separately and without you all, because they don't want to see that. Nothing has been done, nothing. Without consequence, they can call citizens that this man has brought over $10 million to the city of Dallas in less than 5 years. And that's what he's met with. And she's right there. She has not even apologized. There has been no consequence whatsoever. It's wild.
Who said
And
it?
You should be ashamed of yourself, Chief Costa. You should be. And I'm gonna make sure that the citizens know that. I'm gonna make sure that the mayor knows that. I'm gonna make sure the city council knows that. I'm gonna make sure the Texas Rangers know that, and the AG. Because that is absolutely egregious how you can sit there and allow someone to say that to someone and there be no consequence whatsoever. You said, when my brother said, hey, I'd like to go ahead and lodge a complaint, you told him that we're gonna handle that like internally. Well, this meeting is kind of a symptom of that. We just saw what they do internally. When you put a light onto it, what do? We're gonna go ahead and go away. And so that way they can control the narrative, and they've been controlling the narrative all along. This meeting was supposed to be about fairness. This meeting was supposed to be about respect. But as you see right now, it's not about that. Sure, we're leaving. We haven't even addressed that.
I'm getting real over here, Desoto.
But they started that when she said.
And this was a
See,
meeting that
but-
they,
I
but
didn't know you
let me
had
say
all
my
these people
part.
with you.
Let me tell you my part.
She was preparing
You
for him.
still should have asked your question. She deflected the situation, and they. You see what I'm saying? You should went on, still said it. She deflected it. That's why I'm really trying to get you to go on and ask, cause he said, "Come on
we
with
were
it."
gonna do that with the camera and anything else. They wanted to control the narrative because
And
that's
they
all.
wanted to ambush. They wanted to ambush Chris.
This is and I wanted to say this again for the camera. This city is 70% black. 70% black. The head of crime prevention called someone a fat black bitch. The head of
So, that lady said it.
that lady right there, she said it.
I thought it was that lady.
She's the head of crime prevention for the city. That is 70% black. and nothing has been done. No consequence, nothing at all. So this is not just about fees. This is about respect of citizens.
So that lady right there,
Right there, that
With-
ran out of here.
okay.
And you saw the
The lady
chief
with
police
the
had
curl.
nothing to say when he said that.
okay.
Didn't negate it because he knew that what was said, and he knew that I filed a complaint.
That's what I want to.
Oh, shit. Y'all gonna go. But remember, see, I'm gonna have to come to y'all meeting. If I see y'all can't let them deflect y'all from answering what you need to answer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you should have went on and asked them that question.
Yeah. Well, and so this is the reason.
So they can have it on their mind.
They did this for a reason. When they saw the camera, they saw the people. See, usually it's me in the meetings. It's usually my word against everybody else's word. So now they can do what they want to do. They can move how they want to move, and they can deflect and say, "No, we didn't say that." But as soon as we brought somebody in here for transparency, for accountability, then it's a whole
But
different
I'm
issue.
finna tell you something. I knew they was finna do that. I was
Yeah.
just really waiting to see what they go. I thought they was gonna say it when they seen me doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
they didn't budge. Well, first off, they saw you recording out there. They didn't say anything.
That's what I'm saying.
What they saw, though, they saw all these people, and that they can't ambush him any longer. This is about transparency.
And that's why we brought the camera.
So all of a sudden, they can't meet all these people.
Now they want to schedule another. So now they want to schedule another meeting, but not with just us, but with soccer, with BMX, with they have the nerve to tell us, well, your demographic or your patrons, they carry guns and they carry drugs on them, so they require pat downs. Nobody else requires that.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. So this is why we're here. This is why we're here to address certain things. Again, it's not about paying for police. Like, we have no problem paying for you when you're doing your job. You don't tell, and then I gotta pay you $7,000 for 4 officers. But hold up, I gotta give you that money 2 weeks in advance? 2 weeks in advance? Do you pay any contractor to come to your job, to your work, to your home to do work, and you pay them all the money in the front? So what happens when them officers call in, what they've done?
So
what happens when they
basically-
job early, like they've done before?
And fall asleep.
For 7 years, we had to pay the city of DeSoto in cash. I would take $5,000, $6,000 in cash, not myself, not just me, Greg, Big U, Texas Sports, whoever was hosting an event at the city, at the fields would take money in cash, bulk money in cash, take it to the police station, and they would give you a handwritten paper receipt. And then when you ask for a W-2, you couldn't get it. So you mean to tell me a large municipality like DeSoto, I have to give you $5,000 lease department in the city of DeSoto? This is
Right.
why we're here. This is why we came. This is why you're here today. Because again, they felt threatened with the camera, because now everything that they say is going to be held. They're going to be held liable and accountable for the things that they say. So I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad that this was on camera, so now people can say, "Oh, he ain't lying," because a lot of people say I'm crying and complaining, but it's not about complaining. It's about fairness. You can't tell me you have to do my people like that, but then look across the street and the other people doing, they don't have to have that.
I just wish you could have asked that question. I was trying to get you to go on and get it out there, because so he can know, and everybody, we have it on camera.
Yeah.
That you asked it, so then we can get, because what they finna do is, now, I'm finna tell you something, what they finna do. So, you gotta be ready. They finna have all their eggs in the basket.
Yeah, they
now.
trying to come at me, and I'm
That's why they
okay.
want
I'm built
that.
for
You
it. I've
hear
been
me?
here 35
Okay.
plus years in the city. I was here before any of this was built. I used to walk to the recreation, to bounce the ball right down the street, coming from apartments right down the street. Like, this is my home. We have people in charge in the city that don't live here. They don't live here. They don't pay taxes here. They don't care about how it goes. They can disrespect me because they don't have any type of interest into this city. Where I'm being begged by other cities throughout the DFW to bring my events to their cities to boost their economy, but me trying to stay home and be a hometown kid.
So let me say what's probably finna happen, guys. Now, y'all gonna have to make it clear on the next meeting if y'all want it public or private, because you kind of caught them off guard.
That was the purpose.
Yeah. So now they gonna be ready. So when they do it again, have them other people, they go try to make it to where it be private.
Well, here's the thing. You got this on camera from the city manager. He didn't get caught off guard. He already said, oh, you brought the community with you. Absolutely, this is a community concern. So there should be no catching off guards. And here's the thing. Why would he be afraid if they recorded? You know why?
Right.
Because right is right and wrong is wrong. There's nothing to hide there.
But I'm looking at him. He don't really know who I am and don't know what this camera rolling do.
Right.
The lady that was sitting down, no. That's why it was finna get kind of
Right.
frisky. So she kind of really, you know,
let me
luckily
bring-
she went out.
Let me
it would
bring this
have
last
on.
point up on camera. Let me bring this last point up on camera. This is the most egregious point, which I didn't get a chance to address. In 2023, there was a budget amendment for youth sports for the overtime for police being paid. I used to cry and complain about why are we paying so much money for the police? We're paying so much money for the police. This doesn't make no sense. I'm paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to the police, and we're not doing anything. So guess what they did? They made an ordinance 4824. I pulled and did a public records request because I remember this ordinance. 4824 states that we're going to allocate a budget amendment to the police overtime fund. The police overtime fund, which is where we pay to. The police overtime fund, $110,000 we're gonna do that in the budget amendment. All right. What that says is that we're gonna keep the vendor's fee at $50 an hour. All right. Anything over $50 an hour, we're gonna take it out of this budget amendment fund, $110,000. All right. So that means, hey, Curry, you have your events, we're gonna charge you $50 an hour. The police officer, they're requiring 70. We'll take the other 20 out of that. Cool. 2023, that budget amendment was done. Didn't happen. 2024, that was still in the budget, $110,000. 2025, it's still in the budget, but we're still being charged $70 an hour. Where is the $110,000 at? Then you have the audacity to send me an email chain saying that I owe $245 from a job that wasn't paid. And you have the audacity to say that you paid it yourself. So you mean to tell me I'm paying thousands of dollars in fees to the police and I let $200 left in limbo and then you paid yourself? Make it make sense.
What are you paying yourself?
What are you paying yourself with? Is it the $110,000 that you got left in limbo somewhere?
Right.
And where is it at?
I get what you're saying.
Again, everything being done is not transparent, which is why you're here for transparency.
Right.
I want to make it very clear. We are not against the police. We appreciate them and their presence at the field when it's necessary. But it's not necessary when they're not doing anything. I host events across the United States, and we're in larger municipalities than DeSoto. You know what they tell us?
Well,
We're not giving you taxpayers' dollars, police. We're not giving you police so that they can sit around and watch TV and eat hot dogs all day. No, you staff it with your level 4 officers, and if you need help, call 911 like every other citizen in the United States.
right.
We're not giving you taxpayer dollars to sit around and do nothing. Call 911, and guess what? If it becomes a problem when you call 911 more often, then we'll talk about our contract with you. And the municipalities twice as large as DeSoto, they have that mindset. But DeSoto says, nah, I want my officers to sit across the street in a car for 8 hours and watch traffic. I want you to pay for 4 officers, 1 of them in the complex, 3 of them walking around the parking lot for 8 hours or sitting in the car for 8 hours. While you have to hire security who can wand, who can check bags, who can pat down, who can escort out, who can detain, who can mace, who has body cameras, who has guns. What I need you for then?
Right.
Revenue disguised